Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Andy. Today we will be replacing a common failure point on the EA888 2.0 and 1.8 TFSI engine from VW. It's the coolant nipple which sits on top of the engine block and has a tendency to either crack or leak from the gasket, which is a direct result of many heat cycles and due to the fact that the original coolant nipple is made of plastic, which we will be replacing with the aluminium variant, which will not crack anymore in the near future. To make the installation easier, let's get the wire harness out of its place. I started with removing the nuts for the ground wires for the coil packs, and also there's a clip in the middle which holds the wire harness into place. Time to remove all four ground wires. They simply lift out of place. And let's unclip the coil pack connectors. As you can see, I use a flat blade screwdriver to lift the coil pack connectors out of place. This works very well for me. Lift the connectors as far up as you can. Try to lift them out of the coil packs. And disconnect all the small connectors for what seems to be the camshaft actuators. Also disconnect the connector for the diverter valve. And let's disconnect the electrical connectors for the cam magnets. Depending on the engine, you can either have one or two. The harness is now almost ready to move out of place. Let's add some extra light to the area we will be working in. Now the coolant nipple is almost visible. This coolant hose is connected to the coolant nipple, which we will be replacing. Remove this T30 bolt to gain some extra wiggle room. And before I remove it, let's double check to see if the aluminium variant is the same size as the one which we will be removing. The upgraded version looks and feels a lot better, to be honest. And I made some extra pictures to clarify where the location of the coolant nipple actually is. will lose a little bit of coolant, so I put this container underneath the car. Let's remove the bolt which holds the coolant rail into place. And there's another bolt on this side which I also recommend to remove, which gives a little bit of extra wiggle room. Let's see if we can get access to the T30 Bolt which holds down the coolant nipple. I used a long extension with a 1/4 inch T30 bit. It seems to work out if we approach the T30 Bolt from this angle. To minimize the coolant loss, I use these plastic hose clamps and I apply them to the hoses which are directly connected to the coolant rail. One on the bottom side and one in the back, or right over here. Something I should have done a little bit earlier. Let's move the wire harness out of the way. A bungee cord works really well for these types of applications. I removed the upper clamp, but in hindsight this is totally unnecessary and you can skip this step safely. Let's loosen and remove the T30 bolt which holds the coolant nipple in place. It's a bit of a struggle to get access, as you can see, but there is room to remove it. Before we remove the nipple, please clean the area around it, as we don't want any debris entering our coolant circuit. I used some brake cleaner and shop air to remove any debris around the area. And that is the bolt removed. Let's put a rag behind the engine to soak up any coolant. For now, I will save you a lot of time. Just pry the nipple out of the engine and don't worry about the lower clamp. You can remove it later if you remove the nipple first out of the engine. I used a simple flat blade screwdriver. There's a small notch on the side of the original coolant nipple. You can use this to gain some leverage and pop the nipple out of place. And that is the nipple out. In this state you have a lot more room to remove the lower clamp. As you can see, I already lifted the clamp, but I left it out of this video. I wasted a lot of time on this. Just remove the clamp after you remove the nipple, it's way easier. And for now I used the same flathead screwdriver to actually pry the coolant hose off the nipple. And that is one free nipple. Let's do a comparison. To be honest, mine didn't look terrible, but I like to be ahead of the game and replace things while they are still in one piece. Time to put the upgraded part into the engine block. And my apologies for this terrible viewing angle. As the new seal is very tight, I used a deep socket to gently tap the nipple into the engine block. Let's connect the coolant hose to the new nipple. And let's clean the area around the nipple again, using some shop air and some brake cleaner if you need to. Let's install the T30 Bolt for the coolant nipple. Then I grabbed a ratchet to apply a little bit more torque. As always, don't overdo it, it's only a small bolt. Time to put the lower clamp back on. I used angled needle nose pliers. Word of warning, this is fiddly and will take quite some time.
2,000 years later.
Time to put everything back. Remember the bolt on the left and the right, which hold the coolant rail into place. Remove the hose clamps from the top and the bottom. Time to remove the bungee cord. Now we can get the wire harness back into place. Let's align the coil pack connectors. Also, don't forget the coil pack ground wires, of course. Click in the coil pack connectors. Connect all the small connectors to the actuators. Connect the cam magnets, and if you want to replace these, check my linked videos on how to replace the cam magnets. Let's bolt down the two bolts which hold the coolant rail into place. And tighten all 4 nuts for the ground wires. Connect the diverter valve again. Refit the air filter. And when the engine cover comes out, you know it's the end of the video. Congratulations on a job well done, thanks for watching, and see all of you in the next video.